First contact's price. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning at the Deep Space Listening Array in Chile. Dr. Sarah Chen had been reviewing routine data when the signal pattern caught her attention, a perfect mathematical sequence that couldn't be natural. Within hours, every major observatory on Earth confirmed it. Humanity had received its first message from an alien civilization. The signal contained coordinates for a meeting point just beyond Mars' orbit, along with a timestamp 3 months in the future. Earth's nations united with unprecedented speed, selecting Dr. Chen and Admiral James Harper to lead the first contact mission aboard humanity's most advanced vessel, the TSS Endeavour. What the public didn't know was that this wasn't humanity's first brush with alien technology. For decades, a secret organization called the Stellar Defense Initiative, SDI, had been reverse engineering crashed alien vessels, preparing Earth for this inevitable moment. Admiral Harper was more than just a military leader. He was the SDI's director of operations. The Endeavour reached the meeting point 12 hours ahead of schedule. As they waited, Dr. Chen studied the massive alien vessel that appeared at the exact specified time. It emerged from what appeared to be a fold in space itself, its crystalline surface refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. "They're hailing us," Communications Officer Lisa Rodriguez announced, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The translation matrix is processing their language. The alien that appeared on their view screen called itself Ambassador Xilana of the Galactic Federation. Its iridescent, almost translucent skin and flowing movements reminded Chen of deep-sea creatures from Earth's oceans. "We welcome humanity to the greater galactic community," Xilana said, its words perfectly translated. "Your species has finally achieved the technological benchmark for first contact. We bring you an opportunity for advancement and protection under Federation law." Admiral Harper maintained a carefully neutral expression. "We're honored by your arrival, Ambassador. Earth looks forward to peaceful dialogue and cultural exchange." "Excellent," Xilana responded, its skin shifting to a pleased azure hue. "We will proceed with the standard integration protocol. All new species must accept our terms for membership. It ensures stability and order across the galaxy." The terms appeared on their screens, and Dr. Chen felt her heart sink as she read them. The Federation demanded control over Earth's resource distribution, military capabilities, and technological development. They would be classified as a protected developing species, with no voting rights in Federation matters for at least 500 years. "These terms are rather one-sided, Ambassador," Harper said carefully. "Surely there's room for negotiation." Xilana's skin darkened to a deep purple. "Negotiation. These terms have been carefully calibrated over millennia. Every species accepts them. It is the natural order of things." Chen stepped forward. "With respect, Ambassador, humanity has its own natural order. We've evolved through cooperation and mutual benefit. These terms more closely resemble subjugation than partnership. You misunderstand." Xilana's voice carried an edge of condescension. "Your species is young, primitive by our standards. These terms protect you from exploitation by more advanced civilizations. Without our protection, you would be vulnerable." Harper's eyes narrowed slightly. "And if we decline?" The question seemed to physically disturb Xilana, its form rippling with disbelief. "Decline? No species has ever declined. It would be unwise. The galaxy is dangerous for unprotected worlds." "Is that a threat, Ambassador?" Harper's voice remained calm, but his hand moved imperceptibly closer to a hidden control panel. "Merely a statement of fact," Xilana replied. "You have 1 Earth month to accept our generous offer. We strongly advise you to make the wise choice." The transmission ended abruptly. As the alien ship disappeared through another spatial fold, Chen turned to Harper. "They're not used to being refused." "No," Harper agreed, activating a secure channel to Earth. "And that makes them dangerous. Alert the SDI. Initiate Protocol Omega. We've prepared for this moment for 60 years." Chen watched the stars through the viewport, wondering how many other civilizations had faced this choice and submitted. They think we're primitive because we lack their technology, but they don't understand human nature. No, Harper smiled grimly. They don't, and that's our advantage. Humanity didn't survive and thrive by bowing to ultimatums. We've spent decades preparing for this moment, building defenses they can't detect, developing technologies they don't expect us to have. They're going to return with a fleet, aren't they? Almost certainly, but they'll find that Earth isn't the primitive, defenseless world they imagine. We're going to show the Federation why assuming humanity would simply submit was their first and last mistake. As the Endeavor turned back toward Earth, neither Chen nor Harper could know that their refusal had already sent shockwaves through the Federation. For the first time in thousands of years, a species had dared to question the natural order. The galaxy was about to learn why humanity's motto had always been per aspera ad astra, through hardships to the stars. Earth had no intention of reaching the stars on someone else's terms. The silent defense. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, in a facility unknown to most of humanity, Director Elena Santos stood before a wall of holographic displays. Each screen showed different orbital defense platforms activating across Earth's atmosphere, previously invisible to conventional detection methods. Status report, she commanded, addressing the international team of scientists and military personnel who had dedicated their lives to humanity's hidden defense network. Phase shifters online across all platforms. Dr. Raj Patel responded, his fingers moving across quantum-encrypted controls. The Federation's scanning technology won't detect them unless we want them to. Quantum shield grid is at 98% coverage. The Stellar Defense Initiative had spent decades preparing for this moment. While the world's governments publicly focused on conventional space programs, the SDI had quietly revolutionized human technology using recovered alien artifacts and human innovation. The communication window opened, showing Admiral Harper's face. Director Santos, the Federation fleet has been detected entering the Kuiper Belt. 15 warships, heavily armed. They're not trying to hide their approach. Of course not, Santos replied. They want us to see them coming, to fear them. She turned to her chief tactical officer. How many of our Ghost Fleet vessels are in position? All 30 ships are in their assigned positions, running silent with phase shifters active. The Federation fleet has no idea they're about to sail right into our defensive grid. The Ghost Fleet represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, ships built using a combination of reversed-engineered alien tech and unique human innovations. They were smaller than Federation vessels, but incorporated technology that even the Federation hadn't developed, like the phase shifters that rendered them virtually undetectable. In high orbit, aboard the Federation flagship, Admiral Xar of the Federation military observed Earth with disdain. Such a primitive world, he remarked to his bridge crew. Their most advanced ships can barely reach their own moon. This show of force will quickly bring them to their senses. His tactical officer spoke up. Sir, their orbital defense systems appear minimal. We're detecting only a few primitive satellites and space stations. As expected, Carr replied. Prepare the intimidation protocol. Target their major military installations with warning shots. Show them the futility of resistance. Back in the Antarctic facility, Santos watched the Federation fleet's formation with a grim smile. They're arranging themselves exactly as predicted. Activate Protocol Prometheus. Across Earth's orbit, hidden defense platforms silently powered up. The Ghost Fleet maintained their positions, waiting for the perfect moment. Years of studying recovered alien technology had revealed a critical weakness in Federation shield systems. They were calibrated to defend against known weapons technologies, but Earth had developed something entirely different. Federation fleet is in final attack position, Paddle reported. They're charging weapons. Let them fire first, Santos ordered. Let's see what they think will frighten us. The Federation ships launched their warning shots. Powerful energy beams aimed at unpopulated military zones, But before the beams could reach Earth's atmosphere, they encountered the quantum shield grid. The energy simply disappeared, absorbed into the quantum field. On the Federation flagship, SAR stood up in shock. Impossible. Where did our shots go? Scan that planet again. Before his crew could respond, the Ghost Fleet decloaked simultaneously, surrounding the Federation ships in a three-dimensional tactical formation that had never been seen before. Earth's defense platforms revealed themselves as well, their designs clearly advanced but distinctly human. Admiral Harper's voice broadcast across all channels. Federation Fleet, this is Earth Defense Command. Your warning shots have been noted. Would you like to see our response? Without waiting for an answer, the Ghost Fleet activated their primary weapons, graviton pulse cannons that didn't try to penetrate Federation shields but instead disrupted the space around them. 3 Federation ships suddenly found themselves unable to maintain their positions, their advanced engines struggling against localized spatial distortions. What is this technology? Tsar demanded. Their species shouldn't have this capability. Santos opened a channel to the Federation flagship. Admiral Tsar, this is Director Santos of Earth's Stellar Defense Initiative. For decades, we've been preparing for this moment. Every crashed Federation scout ship, every piece of debris we recovered, we studied them all. But we didn't just copy your technology. We improved it, created our own. The Ghost Fleet demonstrated this by executing a series of maneuvers that should have been impossible according to known physics, their phase shifters allowing them to briefly exist in multiple spatial states simultaneously. You assumed we were primitive because we chose not to reveal our true capabilities, Santos continued. That was your mistake. Earth has no intention of becoming a protectorate. We're offering you one chance to withdraw and return to your council with a message. Earth is open to genuine diplomatic relations between equals, nothing less. The Federation fleet hung motionless in space, their superior numbers suddenly meaningless against technology they couldn't understand. Tsar's face appeared on the command center screen, his expression a mixture of shock and growing respect. You've hidden all of this from our surveillance. For how long? Long enough to know that your Federation needs to rethink its approach to first contact, Harper replied, joining the conversation. Your turn, Admiral. What's it going to be? The silence that followed stretched for several long moments as the galaxy's dominant power faced something it had never encountered before, a primitive species that had outmaneuvered them completely. Breaking protocol. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Federation erupted in chaos. Representatives from over 1,000 species argued as footage of the Earth encounter played on massive holographic displays. The humans' technological capabilities had shaken the very foundation of Federation hierarchy. High Counselor Venn, a towering figure with crystalline features, called for order. This crisis threatens the stability of our entire system. These humans didn't just resist. They revealed technological innovations we haven't seen in 10,000 years of Federation history. In the shadows of the chamber, Ambassador Tilara of the Meridian Collective watched with growing interest. Her species had joined the Federation centuries ago, accepting the same non-negotiable terms now rejected by Earth. But unlike most, the Meridians had never stopped questioning the Federation's methods. Perhaps, Tilara spoke, her voice cutting through the chaos. We should be asking why our classification of primitive species has failed so dramatically. Federation Security Director Krell turned his multiple eyes toward her. Failed. The system has maintained peace for millennia. Has it? Tilara projected data onto the central display. Or has it merely enforced stagnation? Since implementing the current protocol, technological innovation across member species has declined by 60%. On Earth, the Stellar Defense Initiative's headquarters was buzzing with new information. Dr. Chen analyzed communications they'd intercepted from the Federation's General Data Network, communications the Federation didn't realize humans could access. We're not alone in our dissent, she reported to Admiral Harper and Director Santos. Several member species are questioning the Federation's protocols. Some have been waiting for an opportunity like this. Harper studied the data. The Meridians, the Arcturian League, even the synthetic collective of the Quantum Nexus, all species that advanced significantly before contact but were forced to slow their development under Federation law. We've received encrypted communications from 17 different species, Santos added. They're interested in what we're calling the Earth approach, technological advancement on their own terms. In Federation space, aboard the diplomatic vessel Star's Whisper, Ambassador T. Lara met secretly with representatives from dozens of species. The ship's quantum shielding, a technology suspiciously similar to Earth's innovations, kept their meeting hidden from Federation sensors. For too long, we've accepted the Federation's claim that their system protects us. T. Lara addressed the gathered representatives. But Earth has proven there's another way. They've demonstrated that innovation flourishes best in freedom. A hologram of Earth's defensive capabilities played above the conference table. The Quantum Nexus representative, a shifting cloud of conscious energy, spoke through their interface. Their phase shift technology alone represents a breakthrough our scientists theorized, but were forbidden to develop under Federation restrictions. More importantly, added the Arcturian representative, they've achieved this while maintaining their cultural identity. No forced integration, no suppression of their unique characteristics. Meanwhile, the Federation Council was facing its own internal crisis. Junior members were openly questioning the wisdom of the integration protocols. The humans' demonstration had sparked a renaissance of independent thinking that threatened centuries of control. Back on Earth, Director Santos received an urgent communication from T. Lara. Earth's resistance has created an opportunity, the Meridian ambassador explained. Many of us have waited generations for this moment. We propose an alliance, not under Federation terms, but as equals, each contributing our unique strengths. Harper and Chen joined Santos in analyzing the proposal. They're offering to share technologies we haven't even imagined. Chen marveled, in exchange for our phase shift and quantum shield innovations. More than that, Harper noted, they're proposing a new model of interstellar cooperation. No forced hierarchies, no suppression of development. Just open exchange and mutual defense. In the Federation Council chamber, High Counselor Venn faced a growing rebellion. More species were encrypting their communications, and ships were reported missing from various member fleets. The carefully maintained order of millennia was unraveling. The humans have infected our members with their chaos. Kral rage. We must take decisive action. But T. Lara's voice rang out again. The humans haven't infected us with chaos. They've reminded us of the power of choice, of innovation, of true cooperation. She stood, her form radiating dignity. The Meridian Collective formally announces its withdrawal from the current Federation protocol. We choose to pursue an alliance with Earth and any other species who wish to forge a new path. The chamber erupted again, but this time the chaos had a different tone. Species that had been silent for centuries found their voices. The Federation's perfect order was revealed as a cage, and Earth had shown them the door. As the news spread across the galaxy, humanity's resistance transformed from an act of defiance into a catalyst for change. The generation-spanning plan of the Stellar Defense Initiative had achieved more than just protecting Earth. It had sparked a revolution in the very nature of galactic civilization. The human factor. The Federation's response to the growing rebellion came swift and harsh. A massive armada of 300 warships emerged from hyperspace near Earth's solar system, led by Supreme Commander Xar himself. Their message was simple: submit or be conquered. But Earth and its new allies had anticipated this move. Director Santos stood in the SDI's command center, watching the tactical display with Admiral Harper and Dr. Chen. Around them, representatives from 24 former Federation species coordinated their forces using Earth's quantum communication network. They still think this is about military strength, Santos observed, studying the Federation fleet's formation. They haven't learned anything. Harper nodded, which is exactly why we're going to win. T. Lara, is your team in position? The Meridian ambassador's hologram appeared. All set. The Federation's encrypted protocols haven't changed in centuries. They never saw a need to update them. Earth's defense strategy wasn't built around overwhelming force. Instead, it leveraged the Federation's greatest weakness, their rigid adherence to protocol and their inability to adapt to unexpected situations. Dr. Chen activated a complex series of commands, initiating Operation Hydra. Across the Federation fleet, ships suddenly lost power as dormant code buried in their ancient operating systems activated. The code hadn't been planted by humans. It had been quietly inserted by member species over centuries of enforced servitude, waiting for the right moment. "Their shields are down," reported a tactical officer. "Weapons offline. Navigation systems compromised." But Earth didn't attack. Instead, Harper opened a channel to all ships, Federation and ally alike. "This is Admiral James Harper of Earth. To all Federation personnel, we could destroy your ships right now, but that's not our way." Santos stepped forward. "For millennia, the Federation has enforced peace through dominance. Today, we demonstrate a different approach." The Ghost Fleet decloaked, but instead of attacking, they began rescuing crews from the disabled Federation ships, providing emergency power and life support where needed. Medical teams comprising humans and allied species deployed to help those affected by the sudden systems failure. Supreme Commander Xar watched in confusion from his powerless flagship as his enemies rendered aid to his forces. "I don't understand," he admitted when Harper contacted him directly. "You have us at your mercy. Why help us?" "Because that's what humanity does," Harper replied. "We fight when we must, but we also heal, help, and rebuild. Your Federation asks species to submit before they can contribute. We believe every civilization has something valuable to offer, exactly as they are." Dr. Chen's team had discovered that many Federation species possessed incredible untapped potential in fields like medicine, art, and theoretical physics, areas considered irrelevant by Federation standards. Earth's alliance was already benefiting from these diverse contributions. In the Federation Council chamber, now operating on emergency power, High Counselor Ven faced a stark reality. More than half of the member species had already pledged support to Earth's alliance. The others were demanding reform. Tilara addressed the chamber. "For too long, we accepted the lie that uniformity equals stability. Earth has shown us that true strength comes from diversity, from the freedom to develop our unique potentials." The humans' response to the Federation fleet had demonstrated this principle perfectly. While the Federation relied on overwhelming military power, the Earth Alliance had combined meridian coding expertise, Arcturian energy manipulation, quantum nexus information processing, and countless other specialties into an elegant, multilayered strategy. "Your choice is simple," Harper told Sar and the Federation leadership. "Continue fighting a war you can't win, or join us in building something new. A true galactic community where every species contributes their strengths and develops at their own pace." Santos added, "We don't want to replace the Federation's dominance with our own. We want to transform it into a cooperative alliance that benefits everyone." The Federation's response would determine the future of galactic civilization. But regardless of their choice, humanity had already changed the cosmos forever. Earth's resistance had evolved into something far more powerful, a demonstration that diversity, cooperation, and respect for individual cultures could create something stronger than enforced uniformity ever could. As the Federation fleet hung powerless in space, kept safe by the very people they had come to conquer, the truth became undeniable. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their strategic thinking. It was their fundamental belief that every species deserved the chance to reach their full potential on their own terms. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly what Earth had been fighting for all along. A new order. 1 year after the Federation fleet's failed attack on Earth, the galaxy had transformed beyond recognition. The new Galactic Alliance headquarters orbited Earth's moon, its architecture reflecting the combined artistic and technological achievements of 30 different species. The building itself was a testament to change. Its quantum crystalline structure could reconfigure itself to accommodate any species' environmental needs. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck, watching Earth rise over the lunar horizon. Behind her, Ambassador T. Lara and Admiral Harper were preparing for the final ratification of the Alliance Charter. "Did you ever imagine this outcome when you first decoded that signal?" T. Lara asked Chen. "Honestly, we prepared for war, but hoped for something better," Chen replied. "The SDI spent decades building weapons, but we also studied every piece of alien culture we could find. We knew there had to be others who questioned the Federation's methods." The main chamber of the Alliance headquarters filled with representatives from over 500 species, former Federation members, independent worlds, and even newly discovered civilizations that had hidden from Federation detection. The remaining Federation loyalists had finally agreed to negotiations after their last desperate attack failed spectacularly. Director Santos took the central podium, her voice carrying across the chamber. "Today marks not just the ratification of a treaty, but the beginning of a new era in galactic history. For the first time, species will develop according to their own nature, while contributing to the greater good of all." The changes were already evident. The Arcturians, freed from Federation restrictions, had revolutionized space travel with their natural understanding of dimensional physics. The quantum nexus beings had developed new forms of artificial intelligence that worked in harmony with organic life. Even the most primitive-seeming species had surprised everyone with their unique contributions. Supreme Commander Xar, now serving as a liaison between former Federation worlds and the Alliance, addressed the chamber. "I spent centuries enforcing the Federation's vision of order. I was wrong. In 1 year of freedom, I've seen more advancement and genuine peace than in a millennium of forced compliance." The Alliance Charter was a remarkable document. Instead of imposing uniform standards, it established frameworks for cooperation while protecting each species' right to develop independently. Earth's principle of unity through diversity had become its foundation. The Federation feared chaos, Harper explained to a group of newly contacted species. They thought forcing everyone to advance at the same rate, in the same way, was the only path to stability. But life itself thrives on diversity, on adaptation, on finding new ways to solve problems. The evidence was undeniable. Freed from artificial restrictions, member species were solving problems that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. The Meridian's bioengineering, combined with human medical knowledge, had cured diseases that the Federation had deemed untreatable. The artistic expressions of species once dismissed as primitive had created new forms of communication that transcended traditional language barriers. In a secure chamber deep within the headquarters, Dr. Chen met with the Alliance's Scientific Council. Holographic displays showed the results of their first joint research projects. "By combining our different perspectives," she explained, "we're not just adding our knowledge together, we're multiplying it. Each species sees aspects of reality that others miss." But perhaps the most profound change was cultural. The rigid hierarchies of the Federation era had given way to a dynamic network of relationships. Species that would never have interacted under the old system were forming partnerships, sharing discoveries, and creating new possibilities together. A young Federation historian, watching Earth's cities through the station's quantum viewport, asked Harper, "How did humans know this would work?" "We didn't," Harper admitted, "but we knew that forcing everyone to be the same wasn't the answer. Earth's own history taught us that progress comes from embracing differences, not erasing them. We just applied that principle on a galactic scale." As the Charter ratification ceremony concluded, Director Santos received an urgent message. A new signal had been detected from deep space. Another civilization, advanced but unknown, reaching out for first contact. Santos smiled as she shared the news. This time, there would be no ultimatums, no demands for submission. Instead, the Alliance would offer what humanity had always hoped to find among the stars: friendship, respect, and the chance to become part of something greater while remaining true to themselves. "Send them our response," she ordered. "Tell them that the galaxy has changed. Tell them that every voice matters here, that every species brings something unique to our shared future." As the message beamed out across the cosmos, Earth's rise continued, not as a conquering power or a submitted world, but as the birthplace of a new way of thinking about civilization itself. The stars had never seemed brighter or the future more promising. Humanity had done more than resist subjugation. They had shown the galaxy a better path forward, proving that the greatest achievements come not from enforced order, but from the magnificent chaos of cooperation between different minds, different species, and different dreams, all reaching for the stars together.